Hello, thank you for tuning in to the Diaspora panel. I am the Jalaya in Dublin. I have with me, as always, Mr. Olaitan Adedigba, who is based in the United States of America. Mr. Adedigba, you are welcome to today's meeting.
Yeah, thanks for having me this afternoon.
I also have Mr. Olalawal based in Canada. Mr. Lawal, you are also welcome.
Thank you for having me, and good day to all our viewers.
I want to say a big thank you to all our new subscribers. Thank you so much for becoming part of the family. And if you're one of if you are one of our viewers and you have not subscribed, please click that button now. It is free of charge. It means anytime we do a new video, you will be one of the first people to be notified. And if you like our video, please share it. Please, comment. We want to see your comment, and we promise you that we will reply you as soon as we can. Today, we're going to talk about state police. Just a few hours ago, we heard that the governors of the northern regions, they met with all the emirs in the north, and they came up with this idea that state police should be speed up. We should speed up, action on state police. So the north is now ready for state police. The south have been shouting about state police for the last 10 years, and the north says no, but now everybody is ready. So my idea is that we need community policing. We need a kind of police that is close to the grassroots, that is cultural. So, but I don't subscribe to state police. For me, I say no to state police. And I'm going to start with you, Lighton. But before I ask you a question, let me explain why I said no. Now, we have state governors in Nigeria who always hide behind their immunity to do whatever they want to do. Look at what Obaseki did when he was Edo State chairman, Edo State governor, when he went to the legislative house and removed the roof. Look at the way he treated them. Look at what Fubara did to the legislators. So we can see the way our governors are using their power. Now, if you now give them state police, I believe that they will turn against their opponent, they go turn against the opposition. In fact, they could be hijacking people's wife and nothing will happen. So I think that state police is good, but governors should not be in charge. And now I'm thinking that since we now have regional commissions with chairmen, let us have regional police that will be controlled by these chairmen. So in the Southwest, for example, the Amotekun could be under the Southwest Regional Commission to be headed by the chairman of the Southwest Regional Commission, who will then be in charge of security in that region. And the security votes that is being given to the governors now should be given directly to these commissions so that you will have 6 regional police in the country instead of having 36 state police. I think that 6 regional police will be much more manageable than having 36, and that no governor will be directly in charge of this state and of state police, so that they will not be able to use state police to terrorize their opponents. So, Lighton, what do you think?
The idea of having state police is long overdue. I think everywhere over the world, there are state police and there are community policing. And it is only these only people in community that will know when they are criminals. They invaded look at what is happening they invaded their community. If they are seeing shame faces going out, coming in, you will know the numbers of people that live in this particular area. The police will quickly challenge them, or they will alert police. The people around with alert police that we are seeing strange faces here. So the police will just come and they will, query the person. And in the community whereby we don't have enough police, we are bound to suffer a lot. A lot of criminals have to invade the place. That is why if these people in Benue, Anambra, Imo, Plateau, they have community police. The rate of killing would have subsided a little bit, right? They will know before. I mean, they will form an attack. I mean, they will attack these people, right? Before they come. So it's rather than killing people in the middle of the night. So it is wrong. If Nigeria is saying, I want community police and I want state police. The state police, they will do a lot. And community police is a lot, it's long overdue in Nigeria, I must say. Let us arrange them in such a way that they will sworn to uphold the constitution of the country, right? Not their allegiance should not be to the political office holders, but to the country, right? Look at what happened why during the state, I mean White House, when they invaded White House, the police, in spite of the fact that Trump invited the intruders to come into the White House, but these people, the police, they resisted them, and the what's the name of this guy? I forgot now. The head of the police, head of the army, he was telling George, I mean, he was just telling President Trump that where I sworn to uphold the constitution of the country, not human being, right? So these are the areas we need community police, we need state police, right? So the people will be well protected, and we need a lot, not that we all the police serving, I mean, attached to the private people. They should withdraw them. We are under police in Nigeria.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much, Lighton.
Yeah.
Shukwa, we know that there are a lot of problems. There's a policing problem in Nigeria. Nigeria is about 200 million people with about 400,000 police. Nigeria needs about at least 2 million policemen, in Nigeria. So we know that we need, and we know that if you look at what is happening in Benue State, where people are, herdsmen are coming from the bush, all the terrorists are coming from the bush, and they're just killing people, taking over lands. You see what's happening in Plateau State. So there's no doubt that we need state police. But the problem is, will it be abused? Look at what happened with our fuel subsidy. There's nothing wrong with fuel subsidy. It's to alleviate the pains of people. It's to subsidize the product for the people. But the cabals took over. And instead of we declaring 13 million barrel, 30 million, what they call it, a day, that 30 million, is it barrel, a day that we consume?
Yes.
It went to about 60. So the difference has been some people are stealing this money big time. So we know that Nigerians abuse things. And we have seen instances where governors, the way they treat the judiciary, the way they treat the legislature, the way they treat politicians, who are opposed to them. So we don't want a situation whereby we are going to jump from fry pan to fire. So state police is good, but should the state governors control it, Shukwa?
Yeah, thank you so much. I think if we look at the current constitutional framework, governors are de facto chief security officers of their respective states. They receive the security budget, and there's, by law, they have the mandate, to provide security for the states that they are responsible for under that framework. So I think with that, it does make sense that they should also have control over the local police. I think part of the reasons why the idea of state police came up is because a lot of times there have been reports of local bandits or local criminal elements being apprehended, only for the police officers to get a call straight from Abuja to for them to be released for whatever reason. And there have also been reports in many cases where the police commissioners did not seem to to work in hand in hand with the governors, who are the chief security officers of the state. So it's an absurd arrangement. So in that regard, I think it makes sense for the state police to be under the chief security officer of the state, which is the governor. However, I think we also have to recognize the fact that if we look, for example, at how state governors have behaved in some of the other jurisdictions in which they've been given control, for example, of electing or deciding who becomes a traditional ruler, we can see that oftentimes they play politics with a lot of those things. So it is not. It is not. I think it is reasonable to think or to expect that they will abuse that power if the local state police reports to them, oftentimes to likely persecute their people that they perceive to be their political enemies. The question now is, how can the state police be structured in a way that does not give the governor absolute power to do and undo? I think one of the things that makes it very difficult also is the fact that governors are immune from prosecution. Now, that is almost saying you can conduct a criminal activity and you will not be held accountable. I think what should probably happen is that part of the framework in terms of who the local police should report to should also come with that immunity being stripped off from governors, with proper processes put in place that when there is a suspicion of foul play, that the governor is using the state police, for their own personal, to personally prosecute their own, opponents, there should be a framework in place to be able to check that power. Absolute power is never good. So that framework, I think, is what I will be looking forward to how it will be implemented. But I think for me, it makes sense for the state police to report to the governor, who is the de facto chief security officer of the state.
Thank you very much. Laita, I'm going to ask you from where Shukwa has raised a very, very intelligent policy. So he is saying that, okay, by law, the state governor is de facto security officer as in the constitution. So they are the one who is supposed to be in charge of security. Okay. But if we now give them this absolute power, they control the police and they have immunity, then we are left with nothing. So it's saying that we should strip away this immunity so that they will have this power, but they can be prosecuted. So do you think we should go this way, or do you think rather we should allow the governors to have nothing to do with state police, and let's have a regional police so that the what's it called, the security vote that comes every month goes to the regional body, and the governors should keep their own immunity so that they don't get prosecuted? Or do you think they should trade their immunity to control the police and then lose their? What do you think should happen?
I think first and foremost, the police, they should know the essence of being a police. They should be trained and retrained. They should have it at the back of their mind that they are protecting the country, and their allegiance is to the country alone, not to human being, not to any governor, not to the president. They have the inalienable right to arrest the governor, to arrest the president. That is where the immunity removal should be. I mean, it comes in. No doubt, we need to remove the immunity fast from these governors. So because they do a lot of things which is not right, and nobody can prosecute them. By now, I think we should put them under the state governors, right? And maybe the regional IG or police, right, should be telling them, should let them know that their allegiance is to the country. It's not to nobody, nobody should ask them to go and kill a fellow, the opponent. Nobody should go and threaten opponent. Nobody should use them to go and collect money from the debtors. Nobody must use them to go and oppress others. So these are the areas they need to be told. The essence of being a police, the essence of being above the board, the essence of, owing allegiance to the country, not to fellow human beings. I saw a police cleaning the shoe of the chairman, one of the party chairmen. So these are the areas we need to go. We need to. I think our police need to outgrow that, not the colonial police again. So by now we need to remove we need to detach the police from the past behavior, so they can stand the test of time. Modern police, right? Now the police should be removed entirely, and they should be doing the work of policing the country, the society, and the state they are where they are employed. Not that they should be using the money, the citizens are paying them to be oppressing the fellow citizens again. So nobody must use the police. They should be bold enough to tell the governor, no, it's against the constitution, sir. We can't do that.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Shukwa, let me come back to you. So Lighton is saying that the police should be trained, they should know what to do, who they are serving. They are not serving human beings, they are not serving governors, they are serving their country. But we all know that this is not always the case, because your boss can threaten you, can tell you, if you don't do what I ask you to do, I'll get you fired. In fact, they can lock them up. That's why, as you said, you can see a policeman carrying the bag of madam, not even his boss, but the boss's wife carrying bags. You see policemen, they will be shining the shoes. They will tell them, yeah, go and buy meat pie. Yeah, go and the tire of my car is gonna go and take it to the vulcanizer. That's how they use it, because they have this is what I call the oppression. There's so much oppression going on. So if you give these people that, the only power the governor don't have in Nigeria now is the coercive power. The only power they don't have now is the power behind that gun. Once you give them that power, they can challenge anybody. And right now, we know how much power they have. A governor can do anything at anywhere and get away with it. There was an instance in Ekiti State many years ago. I want somebody called Daramola. I don't know whether I've forgotten his name.
Yes, Daramola, how Fayose killed him.
I don't know who killed him, but
yes, it was
all
killed.
hands are pointing to somebody who was the governor at the time. I don't know whether he killed him, but all hands pointed to him. But he has denied it, and maybe he has gone to court. I don't know what has happened. But look at the use of power. Look at it. So I think that, as you have said, if governors are ready to trade their immunity, let's remove your immunity and then be in control of the police. But if they are not, so my question to you is that, if governors are saying, no, we don't want to lose our immunity, and the only reason why they don't want to lose their immunity because they know the bad things they are doing. That's the only reason why they don't want to. If you are doing something good, why do you need immunity? The Prime Minister of Israel, for example, Netanyahu, many times the police will go to him, they'll be questioning him. Why did you receive this? Why did you receive that? So there's no immunity there, but in Nigeria, because people do a lot of shoddy things, they have immunity. So Shukwa, if governors are saying that, no, we don't want to lose our immunity, but we want state police, do you think that the National Assembly should pass this bill?
No. And the reason is because absolute power corrupts absolutely. Anytime power is being given to any arm of government that is unchecked, that is a recipe for misuse. And it's not a matter of time. It's not a matter of if, it will be a matter of when. So if um, governors are not prepared to relinquish their immunity, I would say state police should not be under full control of governors. Um, should they have certain control? Absolutely, because they are the de facto chief security officers. Now, what are the other potential options that are available?
Mm.
Each state has traditional rulers. There
Yes.
can be a council of traditional rulers that the local police chief can equally report to. So that will provide a level of transparency, at least at that leadership level. um, Local chiefs and kings and traditional rulers have a responsibility of maintaining law and order within their respective domains. So
Mm.
I think at that point, there is interests are the same, and they also potentially can, responsibly and respectfully challenge powers when they are going to be misused. There lies another problem, and the problem is, who chooses traditional rulers in the state? It's the governors. So, there are a lot of
They are even
things.
under local government chairman.
Exactly. So
Mm.
even that could become potentially bastardized. Some people may even argue, okay, there should be some form of a police commission, for example, um, that will have powers over, the state police, that will be made up of citizens. Well, guess what's going to happen if that is put in place? The governors will indirectly or directly appoint the people on that commission.
Mm.
So this is a framework that needs to be well thought through.
Mm.
Otherwise, we will be doing nothing but giving state governors now a legal law enforcement agency that they can then use for their own personal purpose.
Mm.
You talked about training. Okay, well, if I'm the governor and I control the budget, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to starve the police officers of proper training so that I can control them. It is when a police officer knows their duty and their responsibility and they have the right level of training, is when they can say, no, this is not my responsibility. My role is not to be buying meat pie for you. You can send your personal assistants. Or I'm not going to arrest this person because the evidence that has been provided or lack of evidence does not warrant, a legal lawful arrest. So those things can come up if police officers have the right training. But if I'm a governor and I just want, a bunch of henchmen, I will deny them that training. I will, deliberately starve, the police officers of the right
Mm.
training, or in many cases even starve them of the right equipment. For example, that they need to do surveillance, that they need, to do proper law enforcement, just, because I don't want them to challenge my authority. So this is it's a good um, uh, it's a good thing that we are thinking of community policing, because I believe it has a lot of advantages. But the framework in terms of how it will be set up needs to be carefully looked at. And to your point, I believe if state governors, if they are very serious about it, they should be willing to trade their immunity for control. And I will say this very, very quickly, lastly. I believe even under the constitution, when we talk about immunity, it's like everything is bastardized in Nigeria. The immunity governors are supposed to have is immunity from prosecution when conducting activities that they are supposed to as governors. That immunity was not originally, I believe, intended to protect them when they are committing crimes. They are citizens. They are like any other citizen of the country. The fact that they are in a position as a governor does not mean that they now have the license to commit crime. In fact, they should be upstanding citizens in the state to provide a good example of what a good citizen should be. So,
Okay.
people may argue left and right, but I believe that original immunity was intended to shield them from
Okay.
being
Okay.
sued and
Okay.
prosecuted for
Mm.
activities that lies within their jurisdiction when they are conducting those activities as governors.
Okay. Our time is past, man. Lighter, I'm just going to have your last take on this one. So
Okay.
we know that I know you are talking about training. Let's train this police. Let's tell them what to do. Let's tell them to do what is right. That's, when you look at every policy in Nigeria, things are done properly at the policy implementation level. It is when policy level, when it's the implementation that is always the problem. We know that when these policemen, when the governors are now in control, and the governor will just ask you to go and do something, you say you not do it. It's either fire, they can lock you up. So I want your final take. Do you think
Yeah.
we can trust governors with power, including their immunity? Can we trust them? Or do you think we are jumping from fry pan to fire? I want your honest opinion in just 1 minute.
No, we are not jumping from fry pan to fire. Once the people, right, the law is strengthened in Nigeria, the people will know what to do. They will know their rights from the if somebody want to trample on their right, they can challenge the authority in the court of law. What I'm saying very clearly is the community policing should be under the local government, right? It should be under the county. So the county will be managing them.
There's no
And
county in Nigeria. There's no county in Nigeria
no,
like that.
local government can serve as county,
Okay, you mean
right?
it should not be under state control, but under local government control?
Yeah, under the local government.
You mean local
The
government chairman?
local government chairman, yes, under the local government chairman. So they should be trained and retrained to know their rights, to know their duty, to know their responsibility.
So that means we're going to have about 774 local police units.
There's nothing bad in having them. 770. The local police is 774. We can have as many as 200 police in each
But
local government. Because
what about the security vote?
they
Who
will
is
be
going to
calling for
collect the security
reinforcement.
vote?
They will be calling for reinforcement. And
Who will be collecting the security votes?
no, they should not be giving the governor the security votes. The governor they are crying that they need federal government assistance to contain the crime, the
Because the
criminals
problem
in that
now
state.
is that the governors, number one, has immunity. Number two, you collect the security vote. You're not going to give him police.
No,
Do you see a problem there?
it will be suicidal. They should not give them the security votes. The people who are using the security vote, they should be given the security vote. No more, no less. That is how I view it. The governor should not be entrusted with the security vote. We've seen a lot of things happening with the security vote by the governor. They are not doing anything with it. They are not protecting the people they are supposed to protect with the security vote. Right? And that is why a lot of people are dying. They are encroaching the farmland and they are killing people. The governors will not be able to do anything about it. But if these people they are fortified, the community policing are fortified. Nobody can come. They will quickly call themselves the head of the vigilante in that area. Come, these people are around, so they can quickly catch them wherever they want to overpower them, right? So if they are bringing guns, let them continue to have guns too. So if they should be, we need to process the engineering to get to the. With time, we'll be evolving through it. And the governors, if they are not hiding anything, they should do away with the security vote. They are not doing. They are maximally. They are not using it. Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you, Latna. So, Shukwa, I want your final thought. You only have about 1 or 2 minutes. But just before you make that final thought, I am thinking that, considering all the things you've said, we don't want to end up with a governor that is more powerful than a president. The governors who is under immunity, he collects security vote about 10 billion every month. We now give him the power to set up a police with guns in their hand. Maybe. So I am thinking that, I have said that we can have the regional commission look after the security. Let them set up a regional police and let them, fund them and let them collect the security vote. But if people think, no, we don't want that, you know that every region in the country, they have, for example, now I know there's a southwest region, and they have a regional chairman. who is one of the governors will be the regional chairman. So let us have the regional chairman control the police, being in control. Not all the 6 governors, but only one of them. So if you do that, at least you can limit the damage. But if you give 36 chairmen, 36 state governors, the power to set up their own security outfits with guns in their hand, it might be creating trouble. So, Shukwa, what is your final say?
Yeah, no, I think that is a potential framework that can be looked at because I think it aligns with what I kind of said earlier that if the state police reports solely to the state governor, it is a recipe for misuse. So, either, they report to the state council of traditional rulers, which will have a leader, the leadership can be rotated, or to the leader of the regional development authority. That can be another framework. So that I think kind of dilutes powers. So state governors will still get the security votes and they will still be responsible for funding local police as much as possible. But there will be some level of transparency and there will be a little bit of autonomy for the police to kind of do their own thing without unnecessary and undue influence from the ruling class. That, though, will mean that the constitutional powers given to the leaders of the development authorities, the regional development authorities, also needs to be looked at. So, would that now become like a formal role? Would that be an appointment, a political appointment, or would it be an elected office? So, I think there are many things that needs to be looked at under that framework. But it is a possibility, and it definitely will reduce the possibility of governors kind of, having undue influence over the state police because now we're looking at it more from a regional perspective. It definitely will also enhance more cooperation within a region, between all of the states police, and will, I think, overall have a better protection not only for states but also for a particular geopolitical region.
Thank you so much. So I want to say a big thank you to my very good friend, Mr. Olaitan Lediba, all the way from United States. Thank you so much for coming to today's meeting and thank you for contribution.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me. It's
And
my pleasure.
to my brother, Mr. Olalawal, also thank you for your wonderful contribution. Thank you for coming to today's meeting.
Thank you for having me.
To all our viewers, I want to say a big thank you for watching to the end of this video. Please subscribe to this channel if you have not yet subscribed, and please share the video if you like it. State police is something that should concern every one of us. Please share it for other people to be able to watch the video. And please, we want to see your comments about state police. Do you agree with state police? Do you not agree? We want to see your comment. Thank you. We'll see you again next week. God bless you. Goodbye.